And welcome back to a view from the South Stand. Today I have Andrew back with me, and it's just finished Tottenham 3, Norwich nil at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Um, Andrew, that's two wins on a trot now against two promoted sides. What did you make of the start today again? Because it was a decent start against Brentford, but what did you make of today?
Yeah, obviously happy for the win. Not a lot of the time we come on the show and we're happy with the win, but
Yeah.
again, a very slow start from us.
Yep.
I thought Norwich were probably the better team in the first kind of 10 minutes, and then the crowd got a little bit edgy and was getting a little bit annoyed.
Yep.
And then I thought we settled down a little bit, but yeah, I think the start needs to be looked at because when we come up against the big boys, we're going to be in big trouble if we start those games like that.
Yeah, that's the worrying thing for me as well. I thought today was a slow start again. It's just, I think where we've played two promoted sides, one probably on a big dip as Brentford, and now Norwich. Kind of, I know they've had the new manager bounce as well, but
Yeah,
they had most of the ball today in considering who they are. And the floor, I think the scoreline probably flattered us a little bit compared to what we had. We were just more clinical. Do you think today, or do you think 3-0 was the right result?
Look, again, like the last couple of teams we've played, they're not great teams, so we have to look at them as well. And they were really not coming here to beat us. But at the end of the day, I think that maybe the players we have are always going to stand out against those type of teams.
Yep.
Look, don't get me wrong, they gave a good account of themselves, but they're not a great team. I mean, they've got Timo Pukki up front.
Yep.
They've got Brandon Williams as their wing back, who creates a little bit. Gilmore's a good player as well, but I think that Spurs team is too good in terms of those teams. So I think we need to create a little bit more, Marlon. We're not creating anywhere near enough. And I know that everyone's getting on Kane's back and everyone else, and we all are a little bit, but we're not actually conclusive enough when we're on the ball. We lose ball possession very, very easy. And I think against the big teams, it'll be very, very tough, to be fair.
Do you think, look, going on our creative side of things, like we've discussed many a times, we're lacking it, but I'm looking at it saying that the only person we've got in our team at the moment who can create anything is Harry himself. And that's probably a bit why he's only got one goal this season.
Hence why he's dropping into midfield, because there is one behind him. So of course, yeah.
So let's look at the two boys in midfield, Skip and Højbjerg. Again, I thought Skip was really confident today. I don't know about you, but
I liked Skip. Really, really liked him today. Again,
I kind of thought Højbjerg went missing.
He hasn't had a good season. He's had a poor season. I have to be honest with you. Not only today, but the last few games, he's been awful. I've got to be honest, and I think that if it carries on, the some of the players that we're looking at in midfield, that they should be getting straight into that team, because Højbjerg, I think, does need to come out of the team, maybe just to kind of sort himself out a little bit. Maybe he's played too many games for us over the last year and a bit. Maybe he's burnt out a little bit, possibly, because this is not the player that we saw last year. And the player that we saw last year would never be given the ball away. And if he was to be given the ball away, he's on it. He's back on winning the ball back. He's grinding out challenges. It's just not him at the moment. So, or you could say maybe he doesn't fit into Conte's style, because Conte's style into Milan, he had one deep midfielder, which is obviously our Skip, and then he's got two creative midfielders in front of him. So maybe that it's just he's trying to do a job that Conte wants him to do that he can't do. That could be another one. But at the moment, Skippy's been brilliant. At the moment, he really has. He's winning the ball back. He's fighting. You could tell that loan spell at Norwich done him a world of good, because we never saw that before, even when he came on in League Cup games and stuff like that. So to be honest with you, really well done to the boy. And it could be another. I mean, the goal from Lucas Moura probably gives him man of the match. But if not, I would probably give it to Skip again, because he's been outstanding.
And looking at the wing backs there, because it was a complete different. Forgetting that Reguilon obviously got injured quite early, but obviously you had Ryan out there and Tanganga and Matt Doherty in parts of the second half. How do you think those three all cope, considering the performance against Moura a couple of weeks ago? How do you think them three today in a better side, considering? How do you think them three got on today?
I mean, look, let's be honest. I thought Sessegnon done well actually when he came on. I thought he showed a really good amount of confidence passing players. They've got some quick players, Norwich. So for him to turn in and out, try and take him on. There was another one in the second half where he took him on twice. He was very confident to try and take on their right back a couple of times. He wasn't scared at all, which is what you've got to be if you're playing on the Conte side. Obviously, someone like Doherty hasn't proved it at the moment. We can't really talk about him too much. He was a sub appearance. He didn't come on for too long. Tanganga obviously was a fill-in for Royale. I thought Tanganga was okay, but I prefer Royale in that position, if I'm being really honest.
Yep.
Royale's a lot more direct and he's a lot quicker. He takes a few more risks. But I like the defensive side of Tanganga. So if we do go up against maybe a Liverpool on the 19th, maybe Royale will get picked out a little bit too much. So maybe it could be a point where we can put Tanganga, will be playing as a 5 at the back instead of a 3 at the back. That might be a little bit better for us when we're coming up against the big boys like Liverpool. Look, I like the system, but I've got to be honest with you, Marlon. I think we need a lot of players, and I think that when we even look at the centre backs, don't get me wrong, Ben Davies and Eric Dyer. In the last couple of games, I can't believe I'm saying this, but they've been outstanding.
Totally agree.
And credit where credit's due, because I've slaughtered them 2 players over the years. And when they play like that, I love coming on and saying, well done. You were brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think we should give them, a lot of plaudits for the last couple of games. But I do want to see them against the proper opponents, against the Liverpools, against the Chelseas, against the Man Cities. Don't get me wrong. I didn't think they were, no manager was going to help them. But Conte has actually helped him. You've got to give him that. He has helped him, and he's put a structure in where we look a lot better defensively. But I do think that those players are going to be, they won't be in our team after maybe January or the summer. I've got to be honest. But we have to credit them where it's due, and they're playing very, very well at the moment. So
going on the centre backs, one man that kind of, after his performance against Mora, you kind of thought, oh my God, he's never going to get back into our team. But has played the last 2 games, and let's be honest, he's been up against Ivan Toney and Pukki. I know they're Championship players, but considering who Mora are and how much he struggled, and everyone's saying he's a Championship defender, how do you think Sanchez got on today? That's another clean sheet as well. So how do you think he's?
Sanchez played very well again. Last couple of games, he's been very, very good in that back 3 with Eric Dyer and Davis. Well, I thought Eric Dyer, I listened to him a lot because I'm on row 1. And I listen to him a lot, and he done very, very well. He marshals them. He's very, very good at doing what he's doing. But I do believe that when Romero comes back in, Dyer will move over to that other part of the centre back, and then Romero will slide in. But in terms of Sanchez, look, he's done very, very well. I just think there's always a mistake in Sanchez. That's the problem. For example, the goal was, the celebration was brilliant when he scored. He looked like Eric Cantona. It was brilliant. You got to give him that.
Yeah, he did.
I just hope that we switch on when we need to switch on. And against Mora, showed a real lack of personality from a lot of those players. So just because we win today 3-0 against Norwich, it doesn't really change too much. I still don't think Sanchez is good enough. I still don't think Davis and Dyer are good enough. But right now, they're playing very, very well, and we've got to give them credit. So I just think that once Antonio gets his players in, maybe one of them will stay. I think maybe Eric Dyer would stay, but I can't see the other 2 staying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, depending on who he brings in.
Yeah, of course.
And one last question. I just wanted to kind of bring it to your attention, or kind of see how you feel about it. Son, the last couple of games, has scored, but probably been very ineffective as a whole in the game. Is it down to Kane? Is it down to him? Has he burnt out? Or
I'll be honest with you, I think Kane and Son have been ineffective, and the reason being is because of the style of football we're playing, the system we're playing. When you're playing a 4-2-3-1, there's a lot more. There's 3 more players in behind the striker. You can create a little bit more. They're a lot more narrow. It's a bit different. So playing this new system doesn't allow us, if you don't have a creative midfielder, like Ndombele. It looks like Ndombele won't play for Conte anymore. But I'm saying a midfielder like that, a Moussa Dembele in behind Kane, to support Kane and to support Son. So I don't blame those players. I actually blame the creativeness in the team. And the honest truth is, once we get one of those creative players in our team, in behind those 2, they're going to be lethal. But Kane and Son are 2 of the best strikers in world football. let's say how it is. They haven't lost it over one seat or over nine games, 10 games, 11 games. They haven't. They're still unreal. And I think Conte knows that they're both brilliant players. It's just we need to get a system to fit them. And Sonny, I mean, I watched him again off the ball today. He was brilliant off the ball. I've got to be honest. The only thing is I'm a bit worried about Harry Kane's confidence on the ball, because he loses the ball a lot lately, and it's something that we haven't seen last season, the season before, the 5 seasons before that. So, I would be having a conversation with Kane and ask him if he's not into it. He's not in it. Because we know Son's in it, by the way. Son's in it. He wants to play for the club, and he has wanted to play for the club for a long time. So, but Kane, I'd have a conversation and say, look, if you do want to go, we'll have to let you go in January, because we do need to restructure the team if Kane does go. Yeah. And at the moment, I feel like with Kane doing what he's doing, we're kind of playing with 10 men in a way. But again, I do feel sorry for him because he's dropping in so deep, because we don't have Ndombele there, Lo Celso there, a player to pick the ball up and start, picking locks into other teams' defence, putting the balls in behind for Kane. But a couple of times when he did go through today, he just didn't look confident, Harry Kane. Son, I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about one bit, I have to be honest with you. I think Son will score goals wherever he does, wherever he plays. Whether he's not in a good mood or whether he's in a good mood, Son is Son. He always plays with a smile on his face. But Kane would be the one I worry about personally.
And so obviously I think we moved into 5th at the moment, a couple of points behind West Ham. Hopefully if Arsenal lose on Monday, we cement that and stay there, and obviously Man United moving behind us. Obviously we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago about top 4. Is it more realistic now, or is it wait till after Christmas and see where we are?
Look, let's look at what we got available right now. I don't think we're going to get top 4 with that team. Now, if, for example, sorry, my phone's going. if, for example, you've got a position in January where you're buying 4 or 5 players, it's a different ball game. And I don't think that's going to be the situation. So I look at that 4th place, and I obviously think Man United are going to get it. If Man United don't get it, I think Tottenham get it. I have to be honest. I think we're better than West Ham, and I think we're better than Arsenal, even though they've both beaten us this season. I just think with the manager that we've got and the style of way we can win the game, I think we'll take that 4th place. I'm just worried about Man United. So am I confident of getting top 4? No. If I'm being really honest with you, if we got 3 or 4 players in January, one of them being Vlahovic, the striker, I would then change my mind. I would say top 6 and a cup run this season will be perfect for me personally, above the scum, hopefully, and above West Ham. But there's still a long season. We've got 8 games coming into Christmas periods now and over New Year. It is about picking up the points against Brighton, against Burnley when we have that game rescheduled. And trying to not get beaten by the big teams like Liverpool on the 19th. Just if we can get a draw from there, just be smart when we're playing the game.
Agree.
Not always going to a game say, "Oh, we're going to win," because when you come up against Liverpool, it doesn't always work that way. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, I think maybe if we're smart about the situation, we get 3 players in January. I think that's, from what we're hearing, that's what Antonio Conte wants. He wants 3 players. Then it could be a completely different ball game. But at the moment, I'm not really going into the top 4 bandwagon. I'm not doing it. You're not going to get me to say it, so you can make a meme out of it.
All right, let's put it this way. If I said to you, Conte's only going to get, so we're linked with 3 players, but he's only going to get two players in January, which 2 positions would you say would be the most key and most important for him to get top 4 and in January? Which two positions would be
centre back is a must. Centre back is a must. If we can get a De Vrij, a Skriniar, it is an absolute must for me. We can't get top 4 with that defence. I'm telling you that right now, no way. And I personally, even though I think creative attacking midfielder is more important, I would actually go for Vlahovic if we can get Vlahovic. If we can't get Vlahovic up front to play with Kane, then I would possibly say a Cam, a creative midfielder. That one being, I mean, it could be. We've been linked with every Italian on the planet. So I mean, There's a boy from Roma, Zaniolo, who we're linked very strongly. He's a very good player. If you can get him in January, I think that changes a lot.
Probably not Mourinho, but you never know.
Well, I mean, he ain't having a good time over there, is he? So
no.
So yeah, but personally, I think that those are going to be the options.
Cool. Thank you. And one last thing, man of the match today.
Skip.
Skip again. Okay, no problem. Please like and subscribe. Andrew, thank you for your time today. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.